Man, okay, just stick with me, all right? I'm going to rant a little bit. I've only got 15 minutes, but I'm going to rant a little bit. I'm tired of people trying to distract me from stuff. I know they're going to. And they're not going to distract me from and put me off on another track. I'm just telling you, I just want to get this out there a little bit, okay, about how I feel about everything, and I just want to make this clear. All right, let's talk about the Bible, okay? I believe in the Creator, and I believe in Jesus Christ. And I believe in parts of the Bible, and only parts. I don't believe in the whole thing, and I want to tell you why. Because that Bible was not written in English, okay? Things get translated, and they lose their translation, okay? I used to be, I'm sorry, let me back that up. 3 years ago, before I started research, I was the biggest movie nerd there ever was. I have 1,000 plus DVDs and VH. I got a sick collection downstairs in my house that used to be the movie room that now no longer holds any kind of significance to me. It used to be my prized possession. These movies, whenever I am a huge fan of foreign horror, especially Takashi Miike. You got Gaspar Noé. I mean, I'm just a huge foreign person. All right, now I've watched those movies time and time again. Okay, the translation gets lost. Sometimes when I hate dubbed stuff. You know, when they speak in their foreign tongue, but they have the words come out, or I'm sorry, the language comes out in English. Stuff gets lost in translation, just like in the subtitles, okay? So when a Bible, a book a book is man-made, okay? This isn't a book that the Creator God handed down. It's a book written by men that was not originally written in English. People, that's a fact. And so when things get translated into different languages, they lose what is going on. Here is a perfect example of said things. The Bible tells you that God is a envious and a jealous God, so you can't have other gods before him, and it is a top 10 crime and a sin punishable by death in the lake of fire for all of eternity. So let me get this straight really quickly, right? Because that's what God said. God, the Creator, said, you can't have any gods before me because I'm a jealous guy and I'll get mad. So it's a top 10 crime and a sin punishable by death for all of eternity. And we are little lowly men who have emotions, who have feelings, which is our greatest strength and our greatest weakness at the same time. So God, who is this all-powerful, all-knowing being, he gets jealous, but we, man, can't. And not only can we not, then if we do, then we are subject to a eternal death of torture and punishment while he can get jealous all day long. Does that make sense? The Bible's got some really, really, really great stuff in it. But at the same time, it's got stuff that is disinformation and all-out lies. It's the truth. So these guys, I get all these people telling me that Saturn isn't that the cube isn't evil and Saturn isn't evil. All I can tell you is I believe in Jesus Christ, and man, I believe in God the Creator, and this research has saved me. I'm not telling you to believe anything. I'm not telling you have to believe anything, but I'm tired of people sending me stuff, telling me that it's not this way. Look, I'm set in the way because this stuff that occult science and Mr. McCleary and Let's Get Free and Trample on Snakes and all these stuff these guys are showing you stuff you can put your hands on, and these guys are telling you all day long to believe in Jesus Christ and God, and people want to shove a man-made book in your face and say if you don't believe that what a man-made book says, then you're screwed. Well, great. Well, then I tell you what, God can get jealous all day long. I guess I will, and he can live forever, and then he can just throw me in a lake of fire, and I can burn for eternity, and that's great. My salvation ain't got nothing to do with you. That's why we need to spend less time telling people how to live. Look at my videos on my channel all day long. I never told nobody because that ain't my position. Man, since you want to stick by a book, find me a scripture in that book that says, man judging other men glorifies God. Can't find it. That's why I don't tell people how to live. That's why I don't tell people they're going to hell. I tell you all day long you should choose God and Jesus Christ, but you do what you want. This occult science, these Mr. McCleary's, which look, I'm not even that big of a fan of Mr. McCleary. I think he's got a lot of great things to say, but I wish he would spend less time talking about how stupid everybody is and more time teaching. This is stuff you can put your hands on, okay? People tell me all day long, oh, I don't know where you keep getting that Saturn and the cube is evil. How about this? Here's fun. You see this? Look at this. Physicists say they may have evidence that the universe is a computer simulation. I don't know if that's true, but all I can tell you is you got 3 douchebags because 3 aliens. 3 is the number for Saturn on the Kabbalistic tree, and the rich dummies that rule the world use the Kabbalistic tree of life to run everything because they think, according to them, it's a schematic how the universe works. And 3 is the number of Saturn because it goes it goes the Creator, number 1, Jesus Christ, number 2, and Saturn, copycat, mocker, the biggest deceiver of all time, Satan is number 3. And look, what do we have here is a cube. And the cube is on the North Pole of Saturn, which is Satan. And you've got 3 guys holding 3 cubes. It gets better. Check this out. The hinge in search of the Nazi bell. Nazi scientists reportedly worked on the anti-gravity machine called the Bell because Saturn's original name was Bell Saturn. That's why you have bells in your church. That's why the stock market bell is ringing, because the word of God before was not a word. It was a tone. It was sound, because things before mathematics and language, the time before this was all through tones and music. A glowing, rotating contraption. A glowing, rotating contraption. Can we see this? Bell Saturn, Bell, and look what it is. I mean, what else do you got? I mean, what are we doing here? Where have we seen this? On the North Pole of Saturn. What's going on here? And don't tell me that this thing isn't this thing. This is the Kabbalistic tree of life. You see this? You see this? And you see this thing making spooky sounds now in New York because the gates of hell, according to some creepy iPhone app created by a fallen angel, talks about how the gates of hell are going to be open on July 27th. You're telling me that this thing don't look nothing like this thing? Really? Really? Huh. Because the Nazis, the Americans, the Jews, it's all the same. Because you got people who claim they're Jews, but they're not, because Obama claims he's a Christian, but is he a Christian? But you got people who are claiming they're Jews when they're not. I mean, I got to throw this stuff out there. I can't help it. And look, as soon as someone shows me something that debunks this stuff, that New Jerusalem is not shaped like a cube and described as a cube, and the fact that the Muslims, Islam, all those guys, their holiest city, their holiest site in all of Islam is a cube. You have the X, which is just a cube with an X in it, because we're told that we do indeed struggle with not with flesh and blood, but powers and principalities in high places. And you look above, or you're high above a pyramid, and you look down, it's an X inside a cube, and an X has been a long time symbol of Saturn. And you have the American military that's across guns, and you have the American, also the American, the Confederate flag is a big blue cross. You have crossed guns as the Confederate Army logo. You have crossed swords for the pirates, and you have crossed swords for Islam. British old school uniforms, and they still do it, have big X's on their uniforms. The sickle and the hammer is a cross, and the sickle and hammer represents Saturn, because Saturn is the god of death who carries a sickle, death, And the hammer is that he will beat you into submission if you don't choose death. I mean, it comes back to the same thing every single time. I'm not trying to be all emotional and rant and I just don't get it. I don't understand where people come from on this stuff. I mean, it's right in front of your face. There's a cube. There's a cube. And hey, I don't know if the universe is a holographic simulation. I don't know what the cube is or what the machine is that even all these old school bands tell us about. I have no idea. All I can tell you is when they have articles like this that say physicists say they may have evidence the universe is a computer simulation, and they have 3 what look like alien beings holding cubes. I mean, I don't know what else to do. All I'm trying to do is spread this message the best I can through my videos and through my band, and trying to wake people up that guess what? You have 2 choices in this life. You believe the government and the authorities, or you believe yourself and all these other people that are trying to reveal the truth to you. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in those things. But I get told at the same time that I don't, because I don't believe in every single verse in the Bible. I'm not trying to shove this down. I don't know what to do sometimes. Occult science, Mr. McCleary, Trample on Snakes, all those guys give you stuff you can put your hands on. I mean, then would somebody just shut up and just tell me then and go ahead and debunk the cube? Say, here's the reason why it's on the North Pole of Saturn. And oh wait, and by the way, it's not evil because the reasons why the Phoenicians and the Babylonians and all this kind of they worship Saturn, and the reason why they called Satan the planet Saturn is because of this, not because it's evil. It's because of this. The reason why the Muslims they circle they vortex, right? Because the polar vortex, because that's what's about to happen in the sky, and the reason why every civilization on every continent on every single time all document some sort of crazy vortex in the sky is not what you think because of this. The cross isn't a cube, which really is an X, but it's not really a cube, it's not really an X because of this. Why don't you just tell me that? Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me that? Because every time these guys tell me something and I go research their research, it checks out every time, and every time it comes back to the cube. I'm not going to stop talking about this stuff because I've got no reason to. It seems to be the truth. There is a very evil force driving everything that we're talking about here. Look at it. Then you got weird places like Stupid Before It's News, which I hate, and I haven't brought it up, but I want to, but I hate that source because it's an awful source. But you know what they say? There was a stupid article that came out about a week ago talking about how there's really weird things going on under Antarctica because we think that's where the cube is, way down deep center in the center of the earth. And they're talking about how there's these weird radiation and microwaves being detected and the ice is melting in the Arctic, and it doesn't even matter if that's true or not. You get all this deep digging and all this crazy news coming out of Antarctica. It doesn't matter. I'm rambling on about stuff that, you know what, I can't prove, but no one else can either. Here's my proof. This proves that Jesus Christ and the Creator God exists. That's who I side with. I side with good. I got people like Kip on my channel who don't believe in God, who don't believe in Jesus Christ. You know what? I don't care. You want to know why I don't care? You know why I don't care if everybody on here doesn't believe in Jesus Christ and God? You want to know why? Because I don't care right now, because everybody still seems to think we can all at least agree on that the government's liars, that the NASA's liars, that we're being told a bunch of lies, that we're being impressed. That's all I care about. They're doing awful, awful, awful things. You've got government official after government official being caught with child porn on their computer hard drives, and you have the whole system that supports that, and you got people that at least say, you know what, I don't know if I really believe in God or Jesus Christ, but this stuff is wrong, and I don't like it, and that's all I really care about. I can give a crap less if you believe in Jesus Christ and God, as long as you're willing to stand up and say, I want the truth, I want to know what's really going on, because I don't believe in the official story that I'm being told by everybody that I am paying my tax dollars are going to, are telling me the truth. So I'm running out of time. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, teammates. Thanks for the support.